some riprap in there, clean it up, and then block it off, with a fence, you know, as part of the parking lot.
Can you do that by my house too, where they're messing everything up?
Well, if you got a park and I own it, I'll do that.
It's just they're going along your drainage behind everybody's house, and wherever they can find a way in and out, they do.
They do.
And they're tearing everything up.
Well,
it's a good thing I don't have my turtles over there. They'd be in big trouble.
Well, I know that the police department has, since I've been with the city the last 2.5 years, they have quite a concerted effort on lots of locations throughout the city for ATVs. It's just, you know, it's very hard to keep track of.
Oh yeah, you can't follow them around all the time. Yeah.
But they do quite a lot of enforcement, so they do work on that. But that's one of the reasons we wanted to designate it more of a parking lot, clean it up, put a sign there so people actually know that it's a city park. And then we'll probably end up putting something else.
And then there's no excuses if they do something, because now there's a sign.
Well,
you know you're not supposed to be doing that.
There's a rule sign, but it also provides the officers with the authority to make arrests for, you know, trespass and things like that. Yes, sir?
There's some significant blockages along the Myakkahatchee, the Oak Park area. And there's a lot of tires. Northport, I think every single lot in Northport has at least one tire.
Not in my neighborhood anymore. We got them all.
Right.
Hubby and I went and cleaned them up.
There are a lot in the creek itself.
Right.
Does the city ever plan to, since we're marketing Myakkahatchee more, does the city plan to clean up the accumulated debris that are actually in the creek?
Well, what we've done before, about a year ago when we started to put this project on the books, me and several people from Public Works and the stormwater manager walked that area. We actually, when we went on our walk, we went there predominantly to remove all of the kind of makeshift jumps and ramps that you have a lot of bikes put in there that are really kind of dangerous, and they're actually encroaching on some areas of the stormwater. And we found a boat in the creek. So we have removed some things, but it is very difficult. We have had the city put on a, I can't think of the word, the cleanup day, where we went and picked up trash all down the creek, which it looks very pristine, but quite honestly, there is a lot of trash there. We could probably thank you very much for adopting that park to help us with that. But it's very difficult for some. We found, actually that day, we found a hot tub and a boat. Now that I recall.
Oh my God.
When the city cut those BMX things out, they actually left the piles, them in piles, on the property as well. There are piles of those. So I mean, they actually took down bridges and the BMX things.
Well, we removed a lot of that stuff, so I'm not sure where your piles are. If you can tell me where they are, because we'll go and get them. Because
there are two that I could take you to.
Okay. Well, I think you know how to get a hold of me. So, no, you'll let me know, because everything, you know, I mean, we won't move that stuff out, but it's very difficult. A lot of that stuff, Public Works, you know, we really don't have, we can't bring heavy equipment back in there to pull this stuff to clean it up. So it makes it a little more
There
complicated.
are road accesses actually by those two
Oh,
piles.
where all the shingles are.
There are
Okay.
shingles as well.
Yeah. There's a couple private, that house there. I don't think we own that house, the one that wasn't totally built, but okay. I know where we are, but we'll get together, because that's not a problem. Because our intention always is to take it out. We
There's
took out
actually a
quite a
stop
bit.
sign back there, street sign.
Oh, yeah?
It's like hanging in place out of a tree.
Oh, yeah.
It's I don't know. It's
That must be where all the kids go and party.
There's a lot of
There's
rope
not a lot
swings
of
in that creek.
garbage.
There's a lot of
There's not,
rope
like,
swings.
There's no beer cans or bottles and stuff like that. It's weird.
Maybe they pack in and pack out.
They may clean up after
I don't-
themselves. I don't know.
No, we encountered a bunch of garbage. There's a few of us here that did a cleanup in the park, and we found it amazing.
Well, when
You
it
went
comes-
in one direction, did you? I don't know, you were with.
Went up towards 75, and then,
That's right.
then we ended up,
We found a lot of
at
stuff.
the place where the
Yeah.
mattress was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we found mattresses too.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
you guys gonna do it again?
September. We do it every.
That's too warm still.
Excuse me. Anyway, sorry. 4 times a year, Christine. So
Okay, well then-
your day will come.
Okay. Because I got my pickers and everything. I got
That's
little
right.
trash
That's good.
pickers because I adopted the road where my house is because we have got he's still doing it.
Yeah.
with the wine stuff. If I ever catch that guy, I swear, there's not gonna be anything
There's
left of
someone
him.
Well,
that litters these like wine juice box things.
Every day.
They look like juice boxes, but
They're wine.
they're
Oh!
They're Vendage, White Zinfandel,
Oh.
and they like the Chardonnay too.
Well, and kind of the hopes too.
I've hidden in the
really making
trees.
the parking lot a little more visible, making it, more eyes on always helps you with those kind of issues, not only with security, but with litter as well. So, and I was gonna tell you though, when you do your cleanups though, if you come across tires, if you roll them to the road, we will take them. Cause we took quite a bit of tires on our.
No, they
we
did
rolled
on
them,
mine.
We can do that.
They took them
Yeah.
right away, when we did, my husband and I.
Yeah.
Then we found 3 and
Yeah.
put them right on the side of the road, and after they picked up my trash, I guess they called it in,
Yeah,
and like an hour later, a bigger truck came in with the crane and picked it up and took them.
yeah.
I didn't
Well,
even have to
like
call,
on your
so.
creek cleanup, if you do that, that's not a problem, put all that stuff out there and just let them know that you found some bulk items and we can come pick it up, because we really wanna get rid of it too.
Where my husband and I found a lot of garbage, but we couldn't get to it, it was a spot, I think there was some kind of mattress or a chair, remember I gave you that list, but there was a place where they hung a rope, and I guess that's where they, go into the water, and it was on the other side that we couldn't get to, there was a lot of garbage there.
Gotcha. Actually, interestingly enough, we had Oaks Park surveyed, just to go ahead and put it on our map and to verify the boundaries. And really, Oaks Park is much larger on the opposite side of the creek than on the part where our creek is. That side is actually the small side. So once we get this side, I think future plans will probably make an access point from the other side so that we do a fenced area and kind of fence some of that off to stop the ATVers from the other side. But that would be, a little bit longer range plan.
Yeah, it was just past that swell.
Yeah. But no, it's kind of a big area. There's always rope there. We actually cut them that before.
So that's still a mountain biking park though?
It has never actually been designated a mountain biking park. That kind of gets out on some of our outreach stuff, as that's an opportunity to do a mountain bike. I mean, technically, we don't do anything. It's just really a park with a trail. There's no, really enhancements or a bike. And now I haven't gone out in a while, but I've got to go back out periodically to do that, just to see where they build more things and have somebody come in and tear them down, because it's a risk issue for the city as well.
Well, you should probably change the picture that depicts that park online, because it's a picture of a kid on a bicycle.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
there's
it's
nothing wrong. I
advertising.
mean, if it's not motorized, there's nothing wrong with them
Oh,
doing
okay,
that.
it's
They
not
can't just go
motorized.
build structures on our property. It was like somebody coming in your backyard and building something. And so, they can't have the structure, but yeah, I think it has, like I said, that picture has kind of gone out, but it's just really a park with a trail. Yes, sir.
The most interesting aspect of that park is where you go down to where the waterfalls are that I think we're talking about.
Right.
Reminds you of Tennessee. There needs to be 2 bridges there, and people are making makeshift bridges, not safe.
Right.
There were 2 bridges there that the city cut out that were safe enough, anyway, safer than the
Right.
makeshift whatever. So does the city plan on putting 2 bridges on the trail?
Probably not. I mean, that actually is, it's stormwater drainage. I mean,
Right, 'cause
that's
it gets-
actually, it's a beautiful creek, but it is actually for the purposes of flood control, runoff, those kind of things. So it is not normally, our process to put some type of bridge over it. I mean, we would have to really look into doing something like that, but at this time, it is not.
I'm not trying to be argumentative, but every river and creek is for rain runoff.
It is,
So,
but
but I
there
know
are
that you guys have
specific
designated-
regulations.
right.
There are for that area, there are specific regulations,
Okay.
that
Because
affect-
that's where you guys know it goes, you don't wanna do anything that could cause a stoppage.
Right,
So like a
right.
bridge could do that,
Like one of
gotcha.
those bridges that you talked about, there was one bridge that was somebody that went to engineering class 1 or 2 days there that did over there. That was on this side, and it was actually over, the drainage part. It wasn't over the creek.
Is that the one where the
That had to
palm
come
tree
down.
was incorporated into it?
I can't remember now.
There
It's
was
been
a
a little while.
really unique palm tree that.
Well, we
someone
had,
put some
that
time into.
specifically was really in the drainage area, that had to come out. I mean, there's just certain things that we can't
big.
Well, they do, that's what the tree is for, I think. Well, I hope I've answered your questions. I'm sorry I didn't have a better map, it did look a little blurry.
I'm sure you have it online, right?
We
No?
do, we have a parks locator online. We're actually working on, our IT division is working on a parks app that, will be able to take you to each location and tell you all the amenities and all those kind of things. It's a simplified app. We actually have it online. It's a matrix. But this will be a little bit nicer that you can get on your phone and actually go to the park, find out all about it, all those kind of things.
Yeah, 'cause I usually go online and I'll download them and print them. I put them in a folder, and then I keep it in my trunk so that whenever I go to what park,
Right.
I have the info
Well, you'll be
on
able to
it.
do that on an app now for your phone.
So that makes me buy a new phone.
Yeah, you need a new phone, you put your new app on there.
Okay.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
wouldn't be.
This is not water related, but who would I speak to about, if they have any plans for any kind of a bike trail going back to the bike? I mean, are they planning on, the sidewalks and everything are beautiful for bike riding,
Right.
but I feel like just like the Legacy Trail, there should be something that's very scenic and like off the road.
Right.
Is there anybody that I could call
Well, that
about?
would be me. Well, some of that is what I mentioned, buying the property, next to the creek and on the opposite side of the road. We've been actively doing that for several years now, and, the commission has said, we want you to be more proactive about it, so we are gonna move forward. And as soon as we can acquire, we've got most of the land, but there still is some acquisitions that we need to make, and we have some specific funding, that was received many years ago, and I think it was by, I wanna say DEP, that we're using that money toward the purchase of the land. But when that money is gone, we do not have any specific money designated to buy more of that land. But part of that is buying the land and doing that passive recreation and using the roadways, as the future trails. Another thing that, lost my train of thought. That area, I'm sorry, I just lost it. I think we have one other spot too. Yeah, the trails. But yeah, those, all great ideas. Right now, we've been working on a master plan. We had, I think, beginning of June, we have had, surveys, we've had focus groups, that have come in and talked about, what we're looking for as a community as far as recreation goes. We have online surveys. We have a consultant conducting phone surveys and specific surveys mailed out, to do a statistically, valid survey.
There's a survey on your website too that you can take. I did that one.
It is. That is in addition, but I have to point this out because someone got upset about it. We are having a validly statistic survey taken separate and apart from the online survey. They all get weighed, a little differently. But one of the things that we've had come back over and over again in this community is people are interested in trails, passive recreation, more kind of places just to go hang out.
Nature.
Yeah. So, that overwhelmingly so far, me and my parks manager talked about it today, about what what we've seen outside, as far as the surveys. We've had about 400 people complete the survey online. And, the statistical survey that the consultant is doing, I think should be done, in the next couple of weeks. And, our master plan should be done come around April. So my hope is what we're gonna do, and I wanted to continue budgeting for capital improvement projects, but one of the things that the commission wanted us to do was kind of wait on that. So the things that me and my staff have identified that we think are important for improvements, those estimates have been put in a fund called our master plan fund, basically. And so as our master plan comes out, using that funding to start implementing some of their suggestions. But I think they're, gonna be along the lines of what we've been looking at and working on. It's just a matter of money and time. Yeah, so.
And red tape.
And what?
And red tape.
Well,
Paperwork.
actually, yeah, it is.
I mean, it's part of the
big-
procedure.
You know, you're doing a construction project, you're gonna spend,
That's right.
$750,000, you know.
You wanna make sure you're spending it right.
There's a lot of accountability that
That's right.
goes on, because certainly people, wanna know that.
If
their
there
money
wasn't
is
red
being
tape,
spent
you
well.
wouldn't have a job. I mean,
Well, I don't know about
everybody's
that.
part,
It's
well, I'm just saying, everybody's part of that.
Yeah, yeah, but just making sure that, we're being responsible, with everybody's tax dollars. So, is there any question that I didn't answer, that you had any curiosity about, or? Yes, sir?
I've got questions on, a slightly different subject, but
Okay.
I don't think it's something really that,
Okay, well,
For
we can
the
talk
meeting.
after the meeting if you want
if
to,
you have
that's
a couple
fine.
minutes, I would
I have a
appreciate it.
card, I have a purse somewhere, I have a card, if anybody wants my business card, you can contact me anytime. I'm always happy to, get feedback, and, we definitely get some good ideas from residents. And we wanna make sure that our parks are really serving their purpose.
The Snowbird's not in the original plan, is that in the near one coming, in your
Okay,
mind?
I
or
can
later?
feel this, I will get you the map of the entire phases for all of the phases.
Do you email that? Is that something you email, or how do you do
I'll
that?
see if I can email it to you, I'll see how I can get it.
Did you give us your email?
Yes.
So I'll just forward
Your
that.
your whole master plan is online on the city of Norfolk.
Well, actually it is, and it has it has all the phases on it, but I can send it to you.
I should just found it.
Okay, well, she can show it to you.
I did.
You seem like you know her, so, you can just
He's
show
my
her,
husband.
yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
I will
But,
share it around.
I have to caution you again though, right now, the only thing that we're budgeting for is just that first phase. So you guys are all getting excited about, so we gotta wait, I need you to get excited about this
Oh, no, we
first.
are
Okay,
excited.
okay. I think it'd be very nice, I think it'd be nice, I think it'd be good for the area, I think people will get some enjoyment out of it. But I think really to turn it into a true ecotourism, we really need to have tour guides. We need to really have concessionaires that are gonna, sell those trips and those kind of things. So.
Well, this is a very, not that I've been in every place in Florida, but it just seems there's an abundance of those natural resources here versus,
That's because we're not developed.
and it's
Yeah.
just, it's amazing because, I mean, it's, if you're smart, and they're being smart, which is great, you would cash in on that big time because people love that stuff. I mean, not to say yuppies, but they think, oh, we'll go there and we'll see a deer. It's like exciting to a lot of people. I'm excited anyway, but
Yeah.
I mean, nature is fantastic, and as it becomes more scarce and the population of this country gets bigger, they'll want to find places like this, as long as we keep it.
And I think right now we have a lot of good bones, we've got a lot of good amenities. What we're really working on now is starting to try and connect those activities and those amenities together, like the canal to the parks, and other concepts like that to try and really make it a more cohesive. I run into people all the time that they don't really even know we have an environmental park in the Estates. And that's a really nice.
There are a lot of little
area.
parks that I don't even know about because I'll find them, driving somewhere. I have to go here, and then I'll go, no, there's a park.
Yeah.
And they're just little spots all over, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that a lot of places.
Yeah.
You just don't see that.
Yeah.
It's nice to have.
We try to do we've had our neighborhood parks, our pocket parks. Those have been, over the past 2 years, we are down to the last 2 parks of replacing the playground equipment. A lot of those parks have these little tiny playground equipments that looks like they bought it at Walmart and, used it for 20 years. And so what we've gone in is replaced all of those.
I've seen some of that stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah. And then, from that, the next phase really is to get some more walking paths and some benches and lightings, to start adding some of those accessories to the park. One of the things that we're looking at, which I love, but is very expensive, is the pavement, these pavements, they almost lay it down like a carpet.
Oh, the
so-
recycled tire rubber.
No,
No?
it's a little different, it's actually a man-made fiber, but it's, kind of that feel, but it's all together. It is like it's like a sidewalk. And one of the best things about that is it's porous, so all the water goes through. Well, one of the things that makes that nice is because, according to all the manufacturers, the